Hi guys, in today's episode we are going to talk about VinFast. VinFast in India did not succeed despite being a newcomer. They succeed because they were a newcomer. They had no legacy baggage, could set up a modern manufacturing quickly, price aggressively, and target a segment established players have overlooked. Added industry-leading warranties, great financial partners on board, charging partners V-Green, HPCL for fuel stations at the fuel stations. Moreover, consumer acceptance, and you have a recipe for rapid adoption. Today, we have Ashish Masihi, Editor-in-Chief, Carbide 360, who recently visited VinFast in Vietnam. He will share his insightful, remarkable journey, what VinFast has for India going ahead. You recently visited Vietnam. You checked VinFast Group. Tell us your experience. How was it?
Well, sir, I'll be very honest with you. It's impossible to talk about VinFast without talking about their parent company, which is, of course, the Vingroup. Now, Vingroup isn't just a corporate parent, it's also one of South Asia's largest and most diversified companies, biggest conglomerates, you can say. They're into manufacturing, they're into education, they're into a host of other things. And they're at a very large scale. They do operations at a very large scale, and that gives VinFast a lot of confidence as well, because they know that they have a lot of technology backup, they have the capital backup, and of course they have the overall know-how backup, because the people that they work with are the best amongst not only in Asia but the world, because they've had the biggest and the best in terms of tech. Now, rather than retrofitting EV technology into old processes, they've remanaged the entire manufacturing process. They've remanaged everything, their strategy, their mobility platforms, the interior of the car, the styling. So everything is new, everything is fresh, and they've got the best talent across the world. Also, they're into multi-market expansion across the globe, and they're also building very high-end EVs and ecosystems along. So I'll give you an example. The bus that we came in from the airport was a VinFast bus. The hotel that we stayed at was a Vin Group property. The mall that we went to in the evening for our dinner was a Vingroup mall. Next day, we went to a hotel that again was a Vingroup hotel. They also made us visit a university which they owned. So I'm trying to say is that everywhere they're basically like Tatas and the Ambanis or the Adanis now of India. So that's the kind of relation that you can talk about. When you talk about VinFast and the Vingroup, you can relate them to what we have in India as the Birlas and the Ambanis and the old school rich people who are into every and most aspects of life.
So, as is interesting, now we saw VinFast at Auto Expo last year, and their cars are already in the Indian roads. But what are the biggest plans for them in India going forward?
Well, absolutely. You've already seen that they've entered India in a very structured manner. They're also launching not only cars, but they're also launching the entire ecosystem. They've got the factory in Tamil Nadu. It's a 400-acre factory with over, production capacity of 150,000 units. Currently, they've got a capacity of 50,000, but they can expand it to 150,000. They also have customers all across India, and they plan to make India a hub, export hub for the Middle East, for Africa, for large part of Asia. So that's something which they're planning to do. And they're also going to launch a slew of products. The Limo Green is planned. It's going to be the large size SUV, family SUV basically, for 7 people. And apart from that, in the long term, they'll also be launching two-wheeler EVs. That's their big plan for India to enter the two-wheeler space. And also maybe they'll enter the commercial space. So that's the big plan. Make in India, because they'll be manufacturing all the cars here. Right. And of course, then export them out of India. And that's something which very few other manufacturers have thought about, because other manufacturers have thought of building in full importing cars into India, but that's not the VinFast way. They want to stay connected, to show their commitment to India, and also to sell cars via all their dealer partners across India. So right now they have 35 partners, but by the end of this year, they should have close to 75.
So what are the other benefits that consumers can get while they're buying VinFast in India?
Well, VinFast is over here for a very long time. They're here for a long haul, and they've given some very good benefits, like you get a discount of 9,000 rupees on the VF6, 1,30,000 on the VF7. If, of course, you decide to sell your old ICE vehicle, you just have to show them proof that you've sold the car and you're upgrading basically into an EV car. That's what they say. Also, they've got a 75% buyback guarantee on their cars for 2 years. And of course, that is a scheme which you can also do after 5 years. So 2, 3, 4, 5 years, you can check it out at a dealership. But 75% after 2 years buyback guarantee, that's something unheard of. It shows you VinFast is very committed to India, and also they're very confident of their own product because they'll also have to resell it somewhere else. But they're very confident of their own product, and that's something which gives the customer also great confidence because not only do you get the bonus of buying a VinFast car, but also when you have to resell it, there's less hassle because you've already got that promise of getting that value back. So that's something unheard of so far in the EV space.
So Ashish, a 75% buyback guarantee after 2 years is a fantastic initiative. That's very, very ambitious. And they have been already made quite an impact, being fourth largest EV manufacturer and seller in India already under a year. What do you think drove this rapid success? And what did they get it right?
But I think, Sagar, you have to see that under a year they've sold close to 1,000 units. That's something which very few manufacturers make. A new entrance is very difficult to do that. But there isn't any magic wand that they've waved. They've basically timed their market well and they've positioned their products very well. So what's happened is that people who are sitting on the fence have decided to jump onto the EV bandwagon with VinFast, and they've also got the styling of their cars very right because they look very distinctive, they look very special on the road, and that's something which a lot of EV customers want. They want to look different from everything out there. Also, the interiors on both their cars are very good, spacious, roomy, and very well made. Also, they've only focused on two products. They've not gone and launched 10 or 12 cars. So those two products are very good value for money. In fact, at our recent Auto Excellence Awards, we gave the VF7 the best value for money award as well. So that definitely gives it a lot of positivity. Also, because of the pricing, a lot of people see that, because of the range that they get, the warranty they get, the safety angle also that they get with the car, because remember, both these cars have been tested and they've got very good safety ratings as well. So not only all this, it's also about the infrastructure, the charging network that they've built, the overall financing options that they've given, and all these things I think have made a big difference and given that certain X factor about VinFast, a very positive factor, which customers have really taken very nicely. And you can see a lot of VinFast cars in the Delhi NCR region. Right now, we're sitting in Gurgaon, and you can see a lot of VinFast cars on the road. So that itself shows that there's a lot of confidence that customers have with their cars. I think it's a mix of styling, safety, overall value for money, as well as the infrastructure, and of course the financing and the buyback offers that they have to offer. All these things I think make a big difference. So
Ashish, you mentioned value for money, the safety rating, focused portfolios they're having, the value propositions were very much sharp.
Correct.
And infrastructure and partnerships they have done fantastically well. The partnerships for the financing has been fantastic. The buyback guarantee has been a fabulous offering for the Indians. Beyond the stylish design, do you clearly see, for the Indian buyer's perspective, pricing and safety rating is making a key impact for the VinFast growth in India?
Well, definitely, I think styling gets you to the overall dealership because you like the car, you want to buy it. But I think that what's also equally important is the safety rating that has played a very important role with a lot of customers, because customers now are very aware. A lot of these people travel across the globe, so they're very aware. And not only is it, I think, about the safety rating, it's also about the long-term reliability, because these cars have the 5-star crash test safety rating. So it gives you peace of mind factor when you're traveling with your family. And they're also priced very well. In fact, some of them are undercutting the traditional ICE players. So owning the EV for the first time, some people have that doubt. Will it be expensive in the long term? But no, that's not happening. People are very happy about the pricing. They're very happy about the overall interiors, and also the prestige value that these cars give, because they look very well made. The overall fit and finish is good. The overall styling is very good. And when people see this car on the road, they definitely turn heads. I think that's something which is quite good. And also, when you see so many cars on the road already in a short span of time, that also gives the customer a lot of confidence that we can see a new car, new manufacturer on the road. So I think all these elements have worked in favor. Financing, of course, yes, but also these other elements, have made VinFast a very fast-growing player, and also a player which is different from the other earlier people who are selling EVs, because buyback offer is something we had never heard of on an EV. The styling, the designing, of course, is something very unique to these cars. They stand out. And of course, the B and cap safety rating, which the 5-star rating that they've got, is also something which immediately happened, which gave customers a lot of confidence on their cars. So I think it's a big mix of all these elements.
Fantastic. So I would imagine dealer expansion also helps. VinFast is right now having 35 dealerships. They have been aiming for 75 dealerships as per reports by the end of the year. Right, that's a significant confidence from the dealer fraternity as well. Would you agree? Distribution strategy has been played a key important role for this success.
Well, definitely it's very crucial because the Indian market is very diverse, and it's not only about the retail, about team building, but it's also about the service, the overall experience. And this is something for a new brand which is brought into
Yeah.
EVs into India is something very important. So they've expanded their dealership network already. From one, it's gone to 35 in under a year. And they're planning for 75 by the end of this year.
Yeah.
So that gives them a lot of exposure across India. Secondly, I think it's also an external validification, you can say. Also, it gives them external validation because dealers are willing to invest on the space, on the floor, shop, and stuff like that. And also, the distribution footprint increases because when you have not only multiple dealers across India, the other dealers also take notice. People who want to invest on the dealership network also take notice. And that's something which gives VinFast the confidence to sell more cars. And customers also get more confidence when they see more dealerships right across India. So it shows that businessmen who want to enter the car business are willing to put their money on VinFast, and that itself is a big stamp of approval from the customer base, in fact, from the dealership base, because it gives VinFast that confidence to go ahead and build more dealerships successfully across India.
So interesting. So looking ahead, you touched upon VinFast not only wants to limit itself within the four-wheeler segment in India, but also wants to go beyond that.
Correct.
That's a pretty much larger commitment for India. Can you shed some lights around what are the other segments expected? What are the other vehicles that are expected in near terms?
Well, they're not only entering different segments, but they want to have an entire ecosystem. So what they're planning to do is they're planning to launch two-wheelers and scooters, EVs, of course, because they know that two-wheelers are big in India. Secondly, they're going to get into commercial vehicles, taxis, logistics, and stuff like that. And also, they have buses in Vietnam, EV buses. So they'll also get into that business because they know India is a big country, a lot of people are there, and they need these mobility solutions. Fleet management is something that they might get into in the long term. Mobility, and of course, cars is just the first act. There's going to be a second and third act, which is of course the ecosystem, dealerships, service networks, infrastructure for charging, and stuff like that. So I think this is something that VinFast is, preparing it for the long haul. They're not here for the short term; they're here for the long term. And all these activities clearly show that they want to be in India for the long haul, make it not only a base for their exports, but also commitment towards India because they expand dealerships and stuff like that, service networks. So I think after a couple of years, when we sit again and talk about VinFast, it's going to be probably one of the top two players in the Indian market when it comes to EVs because in a short span of time, they've sold close to 1,000 cars in a short span of time. And I think in a couple of years, when we sit again, they'll definitely be amongst the top two players in India when it comes to EV car sales as such.
A huge thank you to Ashish for breaking down VinFast India strategy so brilliantly today. Thank you, Ashish. To recap, VinFast approach to cracking the Indian market comes to smart timing, sharp positioning, a focused EV portfolio, strong value propositions, and the right partnerships to drive both brand adoption in India as well as broader EV movement in India. It is a story worth watching closely, and we will be right here covering it. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe and drop a comment letting us know what topic we would like to tackle next. Until then, see you and thank you.